Welcome to another edition of 42 Straight Years In. On my Crackhead update, I was driving down Washington Avenue. I looked over there where Super Crip lived. Man, there's about 6 cars of cops over there. Later, I went over to the park, and this guy said he took his ass away, probably for family violence. That's what they assuming he got locked up for. So, he in the Dallas County Jail telling him his Super Crip stories. That's my Crackhead update. Y'all know what it is. Get your shanks out. Let's get ready to ride. Yes, in my last video, Loose as a Goose, some people in the comment section was wanting to know what happened to Goose. Well, I ran into him again at the Styles unit. He had contracted HIV and it had turned into full-blown AIDS. Well, he had an easygoing personality. A lot of convicts liked him because he had good personality. And occasionally I would see him sometime in the hallway passing, or he hanging around the commissary line because he didn't get no help from the outside. He'd just be hanging at the commissary line trying to get his hustle on. Occasionally, I would give him a little package of weed and cigarettes so he can fill his lockup. Well, one night, about 12 o'clock, I was at work late, and before I went to my housing area, someone told me to cruise over by the infirmary. I went by the infirmary and he was sitting in the cage. They had just brought him back from the prison hospital. Man, I can tell it was bothering him. He said, man, they almost lost me, man. They brought me back, man. He said, man, that's the third time. He said, I know it's over for me. He said, man, all I ever wanted to do was just to die on the outside. Just to walk, sit down somewhere and eat me a good hamburger and just walk on the outside, walk in the park, walk around the lake. He said, man, that's all I want to do. He said, I didn't want to die in here. He said, but I ain't got no choice. He said, man, won't be nobody at my funeral. He said, I'll die alone. You know, that was something, that put some heavy weight on my shoulders. I'm thinking to myself, hell, I'm serving a life term myself, and he got life. Hell, I don't even know how the hell I'm going to get out of this fucker. But at least I got my health. Now, he was assigned to the Styles unit. Styles unit houses 2,900 inmates. Over 1,200 of them got infectious disease. Either got HIV or full-blown AIDS and hepatitis. Or sometimes they got hepatitis and HIV, or hepatitis C and full-blown AIDS. The reason they're housed at this prison is because it's a straight shot from this prison down the highway to the main prison hospital located in Galveston, Texas. It's called UTMB Galveston. They got a prison hospital built onto the main hospital. This prison hospital only handles inmates, but it's built onto the hospital that handle people that handle the public. And so it's a lot of guys housed at this prison. But in a Texas prison, when you have a infectious disease, it's not necessary you be housed at this prison. They got them housed all over the prison system. Majority of the time, they're going to be at maximum security prisons because they have the best medical department than a medium security or a minimum security prison has. And over 1,200 inmates there, something is wrong with them. You know, and he was real sad. Everybody liked him. Sometimes me and him would meet and talk about Ramsey and reminisce on his first day there when Burr beat him up. Man, but he died in 2014, full-blown AIDS. And he never get no letter from home, never got a visit. He never received no money. Only money he got put on his account was from other inmates. That's the only money he received. And a lot of times, I be speaking on gang members. If you're on gang file in a Texas prison, that's an easy way to get denied parole. That is also part of the denial criteria is gang membership. And if you released as a gang member, they got special parole officers to handle gang members. Now, I can understand if you're in prison. I've talked to guys in prison who gang members say the reason they joined the prison is, man, I got life. Ain't shit to do in this fucker, so I joined a gang. I can understand you don't give a damn. You ain't gonna never get out of prison, or you got to do 40 or 50 years. I can relate to you doing the damn fool. But at the end of the line is always serious consequences. There's good and there's bad. Majority of the time, the bad outweighs the good. Yeah, I was down at the Greyhound bus station. I parked over at McDonald's on my way to Oak Cliff, so I stopped at Greyhound. I saw a lot of guys getting out of prison, standing there with their little prison bags. I can look at the people standing at the bus station and can tell which one got out of prison by the way he dressed and that prison bag. That's a dead giveaway. Nobody walks around the city of Dallas with a red or yellow onion sack in their hand. Or at least you're an ex-inmate. And I park over at the McDonald's because there ain't no damn where to park in that downtown area unless you want to pay $8 or $10 just to park for 30 minutes. And I walked over to the Greyhound, and I saw an old school guy, man. He just had the look of amazement on his face. I talked to him. I said, hey, man, what's going on, man? What unit you was on? He said, man, I was on the wind unit. I told him, I said, yeah, I used to be on the wind unit myself. So naturally, when you tell them, hey, I come from the same background you came from, dude, so they'll kind of start, they'll ease up a little bit and start talking. Because most guys who served a lot of time, they're not going to be too social. They don't know you. They're just not going to dry ass stand there and hold no running conversation with you. And he told me, he said, hey, man, I lived in Oak Cliff, man. He said, that's where my mother lived. He said, nobody never contacted me in prison, tell me how my mother was doing, and she couldn't read and write, so there was no way for her to write me a letter, and she didn't get no one else to write it for. He said, man, I lived in Oak Cliff. He told me where he lived at, and on Fernwood. So I tell him, I said, hey, man, I'll drive you over there. He said, man, you got a car? Like he was amazed. I said, yeah, I got a car, man. He said, you can stay right here. I'll come pick you up, or you can walk with me to the car. I said, I'm parked over there at McDonald's. And he walked with me and him talking. He said, man, hell, I ain't got no damn where to live, man. He said, I hope ain't nothing happened to my mom. I drove around on Fernwood. The house he used to live in, it's been sold. Some more people live there. Lucky he walked around in a couple houses asking people, do they know his mother? And a lady told him, yeah, I know that lady. She passed away. And nobody even told this man that his mother died. I was saying, damn, boy, I wish I was wealthy. Man, I'd start me some type of organization to house these guys, give them a clothing voucher, show them how to use Monster.com, Indeed.com, where they can get employment. I help them get their other social programs that they qualify for. I said, man, I wish I had the resources to do that, man. But some of these guys need help. There's nobody to help them, especially the older guys who ain't got no one. If you just served all your time, the parole board do not help you. If you released from a Texas prison and you serve your whole sentence, you ain't got no help coming. You got to make it on your own. All they do is release you. You on your own. They give you $200, and you got to make it with that $200. Not $200, $100. And it's a wrap for you. No clothes, except the clothes you got on your back. That's it. So, man, this guy, man, he just broke down crying, man. Nobody told him his mother had passed away. So he said, man, I ain't got nowhere to live. Now, I got my old lady. I don't really know this guy. I don't know him from prison. I can't bring him to my house. No matter how bad I want to, my subconscious mind saying, hell no. Don't do it. You don't know this guy. I ain't never asked him what he went to prison for. All I know, he had a 30-year sentence, and he served every damn day of it. No parole. So I started asking, hey man, you earn any trades, anything? He said, yeah man, I got welding. He said, I graduated from the welding school. I said, well, you can get you a welding job. They need plenty of welders. But then I got to explain to him, man, you got to go on Indeed or go to some of these agencies, the temp agencies. You know, I said, man, I don't want to flood this guy's brain. He just got released. He ain't going to remember shit that I told him. And he don't even know how to use a fucking smartphone or a laptop. So he's over 45. The shelter in Dallas, South Dallas, Austin Street Shelter, males got to be over 45, females 18. Now they got other shelters in Dallas, but that's the main one that I know about. And I told him, I said, hey man, I'll take you to South Dallas, Austin Street Shelter. You can live there, man. I know he got his prison ID. They want you to have an ID. And they gave him his social security card. So I drove him to South Dallas. And before he got out the car, I gave him $100 myself. I don't carry that much cash. I gave him $100 and said, well, this will help you out a little bit, man. And I helped him, the guy who one of the guys who supervised at the shelter, I know him from prison. So I asked him, hey man, find this guy a bed, man, because they crowded. Due to COVID, they had moved a lot of bunk beds out to keep from being so close together so they can be 6 feet apart. So they'd make the house less people. I told us, man, this guy, this is his first day out of prison, man. So he say, he knows somebody gonna come in drunk or come in too late, and he can take their bed and give it to him. Because he say, man, we fell all the way up. He said, but I get him a bed. Because somebody there always gonna do some dumb shit. It's going to be a fight, an argument. They're going to do something to get the ass put out of their shelter. I shook hands with him. And I got back in the car and drove off. I hope like hell he make it. But that's a story for a lot of people, man. They get out of prison with no help whatsoever. And you don't want these people to reoffend. Hell, they know how to survive on the streets. I imagine he could hang around in Oak Cliff. He'll eventually find somebody he know or some guy he know from prison. And there you go again with criminal activity. He just got through serving 30 fucking years. I know he don't want to go back to fucking prison. But and they expect you to be able to make it with just that little flip phone and $100 and your little photo album, little personal things you brought from prison. You supposed to make it. Let me see you take a normal person, drop him off at the Greyhound downtown Dallas with nothing. Let me see you make it with not jack shit. $100, a prison ID and a social security card and a flip phone, a photo album, maybe some more little ends and odds you brought from prison, or craft good, or some wallet or belt you made that you cherish. You bring that home with you. Now make it from there. You don't know nobody in Dallas to help you. You don't know where the resources are. You don't know a damn thing. Now let me see you make it. If you in that predicament, if you don't hook up with the right person to give you the right information, you're going to have a hard fucking time making it. And in downtown there's a lot of homeless people. And Dallas don't allow no tents like other cities. Like I've been to Houston and saw tents downtown. You ain't going to have no tent downtown Dallas. That ain't happening. There's no tents nowhere in the downtown area. That's homeless people walking around trying to sleep on the train benches at the bus stop, but the police come by and run them off. Occasionally you'll be driving around downtown, you're seeing a guy in a doorway or a female sleep, but the cops just ain't saw him. You ain't gonna do that shit in Dallas. All the homeless people are at the outskirts living at the outskirts of the city of Dallas. South Dallas is full of them. Underneath freeways, out in the wooded areas, on the bridges, lots of homeless people. They come by and clean them up. The only way they keep them out, they put a Carson fence all the way around that, underneath that bridge, where they can't get in there. Other than that, they're not in the downtown area like you would see in Los Angeles or Houston or somewhere. You ain't gonna do that shit in Dallas. That ain't happening here. You know, but you got so many people who are homeless, who on drugs. I've talked to so many people, hell, they say, I don't want to live in a shelter. They show you they ain't trying to do work for shit. Shelter do got a little resource. You can take a shower. They got free clothes there, free underwear. And they feed you 3 meals a day. Damn, well, you don't want that? You rather sleep on a piece of damn cardboard? So you got people who are actually homeless because of loss of resources. Then you got all the drug addicts and people who done just got used to being on the streets. They don't want to change. I talked to a lot of them. They're not interested in no change. I remember one night, that was last year, I talked to this lady, man. It was late. It was cold as fuck, man. This lady was crying. She said, man, I don't want to be homeless. But she get government assistance. They take almost $300 out of her check for child support. They making her pay child support. She got $400 and some left. I don't know of no damn where in Dallas you can live for $400 a month. And they'll give a $16 food stamp. Why the fuck this lady gonna live? Yeah, unless she get on HUD housing. And if you're not elderly, got kids, hard as hell getting on that list. It's long as hell. Now, homeless do go to the top of the list. She said she didn't sign up for HUD housing, but they hadn't called her yet. She's sleeping on the streets, and she'd tell you right up front, I don't want to fucking be out here in this cold and rain, people walking over me while I sleep, police are running me off, harassing me. She said, I don't want to do that. But she ain't got the income. She owed her child support. I think she said she was getting $784. They taking $300 and some change for child support. It's hard in hell living on $400 a month, even if you do got housing. Hey, you got food, you're going to have, well, you can get a free cell phone through Q-Link Wireless. But most people don't know about the resources that's available. I'll tell a guy coming out of prison, man, you're going to have to put false pride to the side. It's about survival out here. Just like you survive in that institution, you got to survive out here. You stole hamburger meat out of the dining room to sell to get you some money. If you didn't get money from the outside, you did all that dumb shit. Out here, you got to come on with it. They don't give you free clothes. There's no free bed. None of that shit out here. You got to have some kind of income. Even if you homeless, you still need income. You release from prison, you got to use all the resources the city of Dallas got for you. You got to use everything. There's a lot of agencies here that'll help you. But you got to know about it. If you don't know about the shit, how the hell you going to use it? Or you hook up with some dumb guy on the street, he don't know shit. How the hell you going to survive? You got to run into the right person that can guide you. Enough ranting and raving. They got their checks last night at midnight. They're going to be acting a fool now. They back in power. They got their checks. You can't tell these people shit now. Y'all follow me over on Patreon. Like and subscribe. And I thank you for watching.